After an initial backlash, a controversial Magic, the Gathering decision has proven to be very successful for the game. If Wizards of the Coast wants to try and recreate the success, I think that using the same strategy for Dungeons and Dragons would be even more warmly received. It could even attract some new players to D&D who might not have previously considered trying the game. Although I imagine there might be some purists that balk at the idea, overall I could see D&D really benefiting from following Magic's footsteps. D&D should adopt Universes Beyond for around 5 years. Magic. The Gathering has been bringing in characters, locations, and events from popular IPs as part of their Universes Beyond products. These crossovers started out small, usually with a few cards and a secret lair product. However, these crossovers continue to expand into full Commander decks and eventually complete sets. Now, Universes Beyond sets don't only make up about half of Magic's releases each year, they are also legal in most formats. Initially, there was a bit of a backlash against Universes Beyond products. While there had been crossovers before, mainly with other Hasbro properties like Transformers and My Little Pony, those cards had been silver bordered, meaning they weren't legal in any official formats. However, as Universes Beyond continued to creep further into the main game, some players were resistant to the idea of Magic's IP competing with popular outside properties like Lord of the Rings or Marvel. However, while there were some vocal critics of the strategy, sales numbers seem to show that these sets were much more popular among players than the backlash would have you believe. The Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth became Magic, the Gathering's best-selling set ever back in 2023, a record only recently broken by Magic's Final Fantasy crossover, which became the best-selling set before it was even officially released. Like Magic, D&D has a solid mechanical foundation to its gameplay that is also flexible enough to work with a variety of settings. Now D&D has done some crossovers before, including a few with Magic, The Gathering. There was also a Rick and Morty crossover book that was initially released in 2019. Based on what I've seen from the D&D community, I think players will be excited to get more crossovers, similar to Magic's Universes Beyond projects. D&D players want sources for building their favorite fictional characters. If you played D&D for a little while, I'm guessing you've seen at least one guide explaining how to build one of your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons and Dragons. These posts are popular on Reddit and gaming sites, and Screen Rant even has a few guides of our own. Although part of the fun of these builds is reimagining these characters in a D&D setting, I'm sure many players would still like to play a TTRPG set in the universe of their favorite characters. Now, one obstacle to D&D adopting the Universes Beyond model could be that making a TTRPG is a bit easier and less expensive than making a trading card game. That means a lot of outside IPs already have their own TTRPG source books. For example, Marvel, who partnered with Magic for 3 upcoming sets, already has the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. Of course, this might not be a complete deal-breaker. I was initially surprised to hear that Magic was doing a Final Fantasy set, given that there is already an official Final Fantasy TCG. However, that didn't stop Square Enix from partnering with Magic, and it clearly paid off given the success of the Final Fantasy set. Other IPs with smaller TTRPGs may still want to collaborate with D&D, given how popular it is in the TTRPG space. D&D Universes Beyond makes sense for Hasbro too similar to how Magic, The Gathering, has featured other Hasbro properties. This is a strategy the company could use with Dungeons and Dragons. Currently, for Hasbro properties, Power Rangers, My Little Pony, Transformers, and G.I. Joe are licensed to Renegade Games, which has created TTRPGs for each IP. However, if Hasbro were to begin creating Universes Beyond style products for D&D, they would be able to produce these types of products in-house using their already established brand. Although I can imagine some hardcore Dungeons and Dragons fans being displeased with the idea of outside IPs being printed as official sourcebooks, I think that the decision would overall be as popular as Magic, The Gathering's Universes Beyond crossovers. If anything, the D&D community may even embrace it more openly, given that there are already unofficial source books created for IPs like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings that are compatible with 5e. I know I would be very happy to see another partnership with Final Fantasy, and I'm betting I'm not the only one.